Hello, my loves. Welcome back. I know it's been a hot second. I have had a busy October into November, but I am so glad to be back, and especially because I've been so looking forward to doing this video. I was waiting on a couple things to come in the mail because I have next to me, you can see I have one poking up over here, a big old stack of perfumes. Now, I love perfume, I love scents, I love the way that scent is connected to memory and it's also emotional, and I love the act of creating a really beautiful combined perfume scent. I think it's a wonderful process. And I have a bunch of perfumes here that I've gotten over the past couple of months that I haven't opened yet. Now, some of these are full size, some of these are a sample size, some of these are itty bitty minis, but it's a whole array of perfumes that I have gotten that I have waited to smell for the very first time here with you. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I love getting new perfumes and smelling them and kind of processing and talking through that with somebody. Often I bully my sister into doing that with me, but she's not here, so you get to be my sampling friends where we talk about what everything smells like. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different scents, I think, today that I pulled from recent packages I have gotten. I'm very excited about some of these. It's been killing me to wait to smell them, but I think it's going to be great. I think it'll be fun to compare them all, and I wanted to do something here where instead of pulling up the notes ahead of time for what each one smells like, I had decided to try to sniff as blindly as possible. I know it's a little difficult when some of them say what they are right on the front of the bottle, but I will pull up the notes after the initial sniff, as it were, to see kind of what I think and then what I think after I smell it, because I feel like some perfumes, you go in and you might smell it and you're like, oh, well, it's kind of floral, but if first you read that it has lilac and osmanthus and this and that, you're going to be like, oh, of course I smell lilac and osmanthus and all of that. So I kind of want to go in without those expectations built in. So we're going to be doing some blind sniffs. So there's going to be some packaging sounds as I unbox these, some spritzing sounds as I spray the actual perfume. I cut some little sheets of paper here, so we're going to have some paper sounds. I'm sure some wafting as we dry the perfumes, and potentially some keyboard sounds, as well as I eventually search up the scent notes. And of course, a whole lot of soft speaking. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, buckle up, welcome, and get cozy. If not, I'll catch you in another video. Now, I was debating what to start with, but everything's in a big pile, which I think you'll see in the thumbnail, but I'm scared to try to pick it up again because everything almost toppled when I tried to pick it up in the first place. So I'm kind of gonna start from the top and work my way down. Now, the very first one that's sitting right on top that I'm gonna go with is one that I am excited about. This is Catch Feelings by 5 Scents. And this one I'm actively trying not to look at all the notes that they helpfully list right on the front of the box, so don't look if you want to be surprised too. But this one, I believe, is supposed to be a little fruity, a little romantic, and you will probably begin to see a common theme in this video, is that I have a preference for gourmands. I want to smell like a snack, I want to smell like a tasty treat. This is always my goal. And most of these are scents that I have specifically picked. Some were like, a couple were more blind samples, like from Sephora or Ipsy or something like that, but this one is one that I intentionally ordered, so I think it's probably pretty heavily gourmand. So let us break into this one. Trying to do the boxes quietly. Oh. There we go. This is a cute little bottle, I think. It's got this little wooden cap, you can see, and it is a glass bottle, but it's opaque glass. My hands are warm, I'm leaving little fingerprints on everything. But it has the same color palette on the front of the bottle as it did on the box, but the rest of the bottle is a very neutral kind of cream color with a pale wooden lid here. Now let me see, is this a twist? It's a pull lid. Okay, the smell right off the bottle is dominantly, it feels floral, almost surprisingly green. I'm not getting anything super fruity yet, but let me grab a little piece of paper. Now I know there are fancy perfume papers you can get. I confess, I just got up a piece of scrap paper I had around the house. So I cut some of my own little sample perfume papers, which I think will do the job just fine. So let me go ahead and give this one a spritz. I'm trying to make sure I can see which way the little spritzer is going. There we go. Now let me give it a little wave around. Okay. The waft that's happening right now is decidedly floral as well. Oh, okay. I'm getting very floral top notes. It kind of settles into a warm rose, but on top it's like a little bit of a kind of more white and green floral scent. I'm trying to place exactly what it is, but it ends up feeling, yeah, almost more kind of green toned than sweet and fruity like I was expecting. I want to let it settle for another minute to see if we can develop some more of the heart notes. I know it doesn't all necessarily come out until it's on your skin and it's warmed up, but I can't put all of them on me right now. That would be a scent explosion. So I'll maybe put one on at the end of the video, but we'll see what the perfume of the day is. But for now, I'll just let it develop on paper. Okay. I'm starting to get a little bit more base note, which is a little more woody. Not strongly though, like I don't like anything that's too like aggressively woody. It's like a gentle hint of woodiness. And I am getting, there's a sweetness that kind of rounds out the middle of the scent. It's not really hitting me as any identifiable fruits, but I am getting a general sweetness from the scent. It's nice. On the whole, I feel like it's nice. It's nothing that strikes me as particularly unique. It's kind of like a sweet floral scent, nothing wrong with it, but nothing that feels super special to me either. But now I want to go through and look at the notes and see what is in here, and I don't really have to actually Google this one because all of the notes, like I said, I write on the box. So this one, this is why I got it, because the top notes on here, it's supposed to be lychee or lychee if you prefer, which is a scent that I adore. A scent and a flavor. I love both. I love most fruits, but the more tropical kind of exotic fruits are always towards the top of my list, probably because I live in Maine where it's very cold, and getting any good tropical fruits always feels like a real treat. So lychee, ruby grapefruit. I love citrus notes, and grapefruit is a particular favorite. Damask rose, vetiver roots, and suede. So I think the vetiver is definitely where I was getting that greenness, which I was kind of surprised by. I don't usually go for very green notes, but vetiver has some of that greenness, some of that woodiness that I think was really rounding it out and stopping it from being a dominantly sweet scent. I will say I'm disappointed that I'm not getting more lychee. I will try wearing this one for a day and see if I get more of that lychee and grapefruit on the skin. It is definitely settling into that suede and woodiness now. Now that it's had a bit kind of out of the bottle, so I'm getting much more of the base notes here. But yeah, nothing that's really giving lychee, and particular lychee or grapefruit, which is what I was most excited about in the scent. You do get some of the rose. I feel like it's dominantly rose, a hint of sweetness, and vetiver. So if you like that, I think you'll really like this. It doesn't have the fruitiness I was necessarily hoping for, so I'll give it a shot of wearing it, but I don't think it's going to be a go-to for me if it smells on the skin like it smells on the bottle. But I was excited to try the brand too, because they're a more affordable kind of perfume brand that does some interesting notes that I've seen. And this one, I like a lot of their packaging too. I think the aesthetic is cute. And it's also just a nice brand. They do vegan fragrances, and it's a female and BIPOC founded company, cruelty-free, eco-conscious, which is all nice stuff. So I'm just gonna slip this back in the box to keep things a little organized, because I know this desk it's already got a lot on it, and it is about to become a mess. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna go for one that's a little sample one. Now this one I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if this was a Sephora sample or an Ipsy sample. I was about to say Sephora because I know they carry Juliette Has a Gun, which is a fragrance house that I have always thought of as unique, but haven't particularly clicked with a lot of their scents when I go get them. Like, I tend to be attracted to more unusual perfume scents. Like, the more unique the pitch of a perfume, the more I'm going to be interested in trying it, you know? And they do a good job of unique pitches, but not a lot of scents that typically fall into my wheelhouse of actual scents that I go towards. Now this one is Juliette Has a Gun's Ode to Dullness, which I think is a very fun name. I do not remember anything about the notes of this one. Right, and like I was saying, I had initially thought this was a Sephora sample because I know they often stock this and it sometimes ends up in their sample rotation, but because it's a larger size, Sephora usually gives out the teeny tiny samples. I think this might actually be an Ipsy add-on that I got. Let me pop in here. There we go. So this is still a sample size. You can see the clear glass vial that has the brand name and Ode to Dullness on there. Can't really see much. There we go. This is where being extremely pale helps to make a nice background. But, so it's a small size, but not the itty bitty minis. So let me, okay. Oh. It's very floral. It's giving almost a powdery white floral in the bottle. So let me, I cannot confuse these papers. I'm going to try to keep my sampling papers with the perfumes so that I don't lose track of which is which, because there are going to be a lot of scents around here pretty soon, and I want to make sure I'm keeping track of each one. So let me give this one a spritz. Oh, there we go. Took a couple pumps, but it gave a really good spray, which honestly, very nice for a sample perfume. I feel like sometimes little sample tubes will dribble in a really unpleasant way, so this is nice. Oh, as I'm fanning this around to try this down, the first impression was almost like a woody marshmallow. Like there's an unexpected sweetness that kind of took me aback. There's definitely some woodiness, like some floral in the top notes. Alright, let's see. Oh, that's really interesting. really gives, it feels like a warm, kind of round, expansive scent. Like, because I feel like a lot of scents I tend to go for tend to be more top note heavy and sweet and fruity and floral. This feels like a very well-grounded scent, like if scent is a pyramid with the base notes. I don't know why I think about it this way. I didn't know I did think about it this way until right now. But you know how like there's the food pyramid with like the sweet sugars you're only supposed to have a little bit of at the top, and then like carbohydrates and proteins down at the bottom in the big sections. If like the base notes are down at the bottom and the sweet and fruity at the top, I feel like it has a really this is such a silly metaphor, but I feel like it has a really like solid, expansive, big base of like those mid and base notes that are still sweet. There's a definite sweetness to it, but it feels, it's more of like the sweetness of a baked good versus something fruity. It feels marshmallowy. It feels like almost like brown sugary. Like it doesn't smell like brown sugar, to be clear. It just has those vibes to it. But there's definitely something woody in here. It's not quite, maybe it's sandalwood, but it's not as sharp as sandalwood sometimes is. If there is sandalwood, it's very like mellow. It's a really, I feel like it's a complex scent. Like there's a lot that's happening in it, but it's very like meshed together, so it's hard to pick out individual notes, but it's a nice blended fragrance, you know? Like it's something that it's hard for me to say like, oh, it smells exactly like this, but it is pleasant altogether. Let me see. It doesn't, oh, it says a little bit on the box. So this one says, imagined and created by Romano Ricci, great-grandson of Nina Ricci. Ode to Dullness brings poetry to the ordinary. A creamy composition of badiane, cashmere flower, sandalwood, there it is, and tonka bean. It was tonka bean. An indisputably cozy scent. Yes. Oh, and then their continuation of the tone setting. Behind the apparent dullness often lies the extraordinary. For Ode to Dullness. This makes sense. It's definitely very cozy. It's very comforting. I got this one because I think I was thinking of like a cozy kind of winter scent coming up, and it does feel like that. I think that like kind of vanilla, foodie kind of base was coming from the tonka bean for me. And like I said, there is that sandalwood, but it's not like a sharp sandalwood. It's a very mellow kind of sandalwood, which I appreciate, because sometimes sandalwood can have almost like a sharp kind of bitter, acrid kind of smell to me if it's taken too far. But this is a very mellow, pleasant scent. Okay. Yeah, creamy is a good word for it. And I don't know badiane or cashmere flower really well as a scent notes. Those are not typically things I go for. But it's nice. There's a pleasant sweetness, and again, just a little hint of whiteness and powderiness, which are not usually my go-tos. I'm not really a powdery scent person, but it's not too powdery, and it's very nice and mellow when it's combined with those warm, really rich base notes into something that feels very cozy altogether. So this one I would say is not something that would be a typical go-to scent for me, but really feels like the kind of thing you should put on a spritz of before you sit down in front of a fireplace with some hot cocoa or something like that. Like, you should have this on while you're wearing a big cozy cashmere sweater, you know? It feels like this is what I imagine the lead in a really good Christmas or a holiday rom-com would be wearing. This is the scent that, you know, that she would be wearing while they fall in love in front of a fireplace. Alright, I don't know if this paper will fit in here. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna pop that. Oh, I lost the lid. That was a big click, but let's get that back in the packaging. And I sometimes think that just simple paperboard boxes have the nicest nicest sounds. Just that hollow kind of tapping. Something about it I always find really pleasant. Alright. Now, I think I'm gonna go for something that was not a selection of mine. This is one that was a total surprise from Etsy. So this one, not Etsy, from Ipsy. None of these are Etsy perfumes, though I do have some Etsy perfumes I like if you would ever like to see those in another video. This one is from Ipsy, and this one was not one I picked. It was not, you know, my selection. It was a random add-on. So this one is from, I think it's the Nue company. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. I'm not 100% sure. But this scent is called Water Therapy, and it's a calm and de-stress eau de parfum. Now, they talk about, I'm trying not to read the scent notes, but their whole thing is that this is a functional fragrance. Their whole fragrance line is about like aromatherapy principles and scents that are designed to make you feel a certain way. So this one is designed to be a relaxing scent, and it being called Water Therapy makes me feel like this is not going to be a usual kind of scent for me, but it might be a nice scent. Like I said, I like scents a lot, and I like scents in my space a lot. I like having certain candles that I burn when I'm trying to do work at my desk, and having an essential oil diffuser or something like that near my bed when I sleep to have scents that help to set different moods for me. I find that really helpful, especially as somebody with ADHD and you know, various mental health stuff. I have a hard time sometimes switching from activity to activity, like making that mental switch, and having different scents around that I correlate with different activities can help me kind of switch activities and get more smoothly into work or into relaxing when I'm switching modes. And so I like this theory behind scent, this way of using scent in a functional way. So I'm excited to smell this one. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. I wasn't expecting that shade of blue. I love this bright blue glass. It makes me think of the kind of blue glass that you find when you're beachcombing in a sea glass. I think that's very pretty. Again, let me get the white behind it so you can see the color. The print is very much like the outside of the bottle, but the blue is very much the star of the show. This is another nice glass bottle. Very crisp sounds to it, but plastic lid. Let's see. There we go. Oh. Okay. So far, surprisingly woody. It feels very herbal. And it's not a scent that I would say is like a necessarily masculine scent, but it definitely leans more unisex than feminine. It smells like, my first thought is that it smells like what I think a good scent would be for a unisex spa. Like, it smells soothing, it smells relaxing and kind of grounding, and not super feminine, not super masculine, just like a grounded for everybody kind of scent, which I think is ideal for something that you want to be functional for a wide audience. Let's see what kind of spritz we get from this. Oh, this one was ready to go. That was a very nice spray, actually. I like a good, oh, okay, whew, a lot's happening. I was going to say, I am very appreciative of a good spray on a spray bottle. It's like a particular pet peeve of mine is when a spray bottle is just bad at its job, when it dribbles, when it Not a good spray. Like, I love a mist spray bottle. Those are my favorite. So, very different out of the bottle. Like, that base woodiness is still there, but I'm getting way more floral kind of top notes, but not like flowery in a very like fresh way. Like, it's giving off the vibes of like cucumber spa water. I'm getting like, it smells like water lily, and this is such a specific pull, but I don't even know if this is really what this smells like, but there is a woodiness that makes me think of, you know, when people have those scent infusers that's like a bottle of liquid and then it has a bunch of little like wooden sticks poking out of it that are supposed to diffuse the scent into the air. I feel like this is what I feel like those sticks smell like. Not when they're infusing, just like the smell of the wood in one of those oil diffusers. I don't know why, but that is exactly what my brain went to. I think it's all the spa associations made me think of that, and so that is exactly where I went. It's very pleasant. It is, again, giving spa, it's giving relaxation, it's giving cucumber water and like an herbal treatment happening in the room next door. Yeah, I would say this is definitely not like an everyday perfume for me, but as a functional fragrance, I think it's really good for what they're trying to set. Like, I would absolutely put a spritz of this like on my neck and then go take a nice like warm bath and do a face mask or something. Like, it sets a very spa-like relaxing mood. Now this one also has notes on the box. So this one says it has sandalwood, which makes sense with the woodiness. Again, a nice grounded sandalwood though. Seaweed. There is like a hint of umami there, and I think that's really interesting. Clary sage and fir, so that's that herbal kind of quality, with marine salt and amber accords. That's really interesting. Yeah, there is definitely like the aquatic and marine quality. I'm not getting super ambery, which I'm happy about. I usually don't love amber. I'm really wondering, I want to look it up and see if there's more detail like on their website or anything, specifically because I do really feel like there is something that's striking me like water lily or like cucumber, something like that is fresh like that I'm not seeing described in the notes. So let me see here. I'm going to try to type quietly on my loud mechanical keyboard. Let's see. So this is water therapy. By the Nue Co. Okay. Let's see if they list anything else here. Full-size bottle. I'll see if I can splice in a picture, because this is apparently the mini. Either this is the mini or they redid their packaging, because the one on their website, way fancier. Way fancier. But oh, I'm so sorry, I keep hitting the microphone arm. I put it low to try to get it out of view. But now, if I try to reach my mouse or keyboard, I bonk the microphone arm. Alright, what do they say? There we go. Okay, so this says some of the same stuff. Crafted by renowned perfumer Linda Song, this sensory supplement blends sandalwood, seaweed, clary sage, rose, cardamom, and fir with notes of marine salt and amber. The result is a fresh, crisp fragrance with a warm, woodsy undertone, complemented by the delicate floral touch of rose. So that is like the floral sweetness I was missing. It's interesting because I paired with all of that aquatic and woodsiness, it didn't immediately read as rose. You get that floral hint, but like you totally heard, I was placing it as something much more like wet and aquatic, which sounds gross, but it is actually pleasant on the nose, which is really interesting. I like the way that those scents combine and become something that's more than the sum of their parts, you know? It is, I would say, a very experiential scent. Again, like not an everyday wear for me, but definitely a scent I would wear when I want a particular experience, which I think is exactly what they were trying to do. So I think that is very much a job well done by the new company. Alright, on to another one. Okay, let's see. Let's go with this one. Now, this one is Maison Loumari, number 13, Nouvelle Vague. French is not my specialty. Now this one has all the scent notes listed on the front, which I'm trying not to perceive. This one, I remember, this was a while ago. It is still sealed. I haven't opened it. I genuinely do not remember where I got this. Again, probably an Ipsy one, because, you know, I'll often, if I see something as like $5 and sounds interesting, I'll just throw it into my cart when I am getting my order placed. So this is one that I remember I was excited about some of the notes of, but I do not remember anything about it. And this is also a perfume house I don't have anything from, so I have no real expectations going into this. So let me see if I can take off the safety seals here. It's got 2 stickers holding it together. I always want to take these off without ripping the paper on the box. Nice. Just taking that to my desk to deal with later. Love peeling sticker sounds. I should do a video with more of those at some point because I find them so satisfying. Alright, let's see. Oh, that's a little surprise in there. They really set it up like it's on a little stage. That's kind of cute. It's a sweet little bottle. Very classic. Very classic. Very mini, actually. It's very narrow from the side. It's a very classic, traditional looking perfume. It is mini, but it's a nice glass bottle. I really like the sounds on that one. I don't know what it is, this one specifically. I'm not usually huge into tapping, but this one was really doing something for me. Roller ball. Oh. Okay. I was distracted thinking about how I was going to get a rollerball perfume onto a piece of paper, and I was immediately hit with like coconut coming out of the box. Very like round, warm, coconutty. It's immediately smelling like almost desserty. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a surface I can use to try to roll this on paper. Ooh, that does not want to roll. Hold on. There we go. Alright, let me give this one a little air out. Also not sure if this is an alcohol base or an oil base. Oh, it's an oil. Okay. Yeah, perfume oil. I tend to like oils. I feel like they wear really well on the skin, and what I like to do with them is put them at heat points. So, I mean, it's good anywhere that's a joint, like in the elbow, behind the knees. The real trick is to put any like oil or balm-based perfume in between the boobs. because that just stays warm on me all day long, and it's like having a scent diffuser built in. It is not the most dignified perfume hack, but it works so well for me. Alright. Oh, that I like. Okay. This is definitely not like a bright, sweet floral, but this smells like a coconut macaroon on the windowsill on a fresh day. Like, think a breeze coming in the window with like fresh air bringing the scent of a coconut macaroon, like that sweet, crisp coconut little dessert cookie. That's really nice. It's very like round and warm and soft at the base, like feels like a fluffy kind of dessert. Very dominantly coconutty for me. I'm gonna crack up if there's not coconut in it, I'm gonna say right now. But it's totally reading as coconut. But there's like a hint of cleanness and brightness. Not clean in like a detergent kind of way, but clean in like a fresh way. Like that fresh air kind of feeling. And it's sweet, but not cloyingly so. Like it's still dominantly fresh, and there's just like a hint of brightness to it. That's really nice. I think it's well balanced. And I think it's a good scent that, like, because it's so cozy, my mind goes to like winter first, but I think could work well in a lot of transitional periods too, like that cozy going into winter or coming out of winter kind of vibes. And even, especially if you layered it with something that was a brighter, fruitier scent, like something like peach or mango or something, could totally play well in summer, I think. Now this one, again, has the notes right on the front here. So this one, the top notes are Mouget, coconut waters. There's my coconut, thank goodness. I'm not losing it. And lemon. So the coconut and lemon, I now remember, is absolutely why I ordered this, because I love, 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 love a lemon scent. I am always on the hunt for a good true lemon perfume. If you have any you like, please let me know. I've sampled a bunch and most of them don't quite hit the mark for me. I feel like lemon often goes like Lysol, or like it's like a cleaning product kind of smell, or it's just like hardly there, and it's really hard to strike the balance. This definitely goes towards the hardly there. Like, I don't smell this and smell lemon, which is slightly disappointing to me, but I think that adds to that brightness and freshness that I was talking about. Middle notes, Tuscan fig, tonka again, and agave. Agave is nice. I think that's adding some of like that clean sweetness. So instead of having like a rich honey or sugar or something, like the agave is like sweet but fresh. And it's that tonka bean that again is adding that like warm vanilla-y, dessert-y kind of quality to it. And the base is vetiver, amber, and santal. And you know what? Now, after smelling a couple scents with sandalwood, normally I like sandalwood, but I'm kind of glad this isn't a sandalwood base. They went the santal direction instead of sandalwood direction. Like, I think this is something where it would have been really easy to go sandalwood, but I feel like there are so many coconut sandalwood kind of perfume combos that it would have felt too common. Like, that leans tropical, and this is not a tropical scent. It is a coconut scent, but it does not read as a tropical scent, and that I think is unique. I think is nice. So if I was going to critique anything, I would say it could read a little soapy between the coconut and that like kind of clean freshness. If you like that kind of scent palette, then absolutely I would say 100% go for it. I think it's a little soapy for me, but I think it'll still wear well on the skin. I don't think that'd be a problem. I think this is going to be not an everyday for me, but definitely a sometimes like in the rotation scent. So I'm pleased with this one. Oh, I like these. The tinkly little cap sounds. once again, Maison Loumari's number 13, Nouvelle Vague. Alright, I'm running out of desk space already. I'm trying to find creative places to put everything. We'll go with there. Alright. I'm saving the ones I'm most excited about for the end. And also because they come in the bigger boxes, because I ordered full size of some of those. So this one is a sample that honestly my expectations are not high. This one is still in the plastic packaging. This one, you can tell, is a Sephora sample because it's teeny tiny. This is Versace's Bright Crystal. Now, I really tend to not like most perfumes from major like fashion brands, like a Versace, like anything like that. I'm like, I think they're boring. I think that they tend to put together so many notes that merge into something that's like one note and it ends up smelling generic so much of the time. Like, which, no shade to you if you like that. I just prefer scents where like, I typically prefer scents where I can smell more unique things, where I can be like, oh, there's lemon, there's this, there's that. So I tend to not love a lot of scents that are really signature scents, like a Chanel number 5 kind of thing. I'm like, it's just like a thing. It's a smell that's not like familiar. It is its own thing, but it's nothing that really strikes a chord with me. So anyway, all this to say, I usually do not go for perfumes from like these major houses, but this one, all I remember is that something about the scent notes interested me enough to take it as a free sample. So my expectations are not high, but I am totally open to being pleasantly surprised. Alright, I'm going to try to open this plastic up a little off mic because it's a very crinkly plastic. Over with the trash for later. Alright, so this is, I do like the color palette, the soft kind of fading pink, and it's hard to see with the ring light, but there's a pretty little kind of Greek inspired woman's portrait there. It's kind of between Greek and Art Nouveau. It's got a touch of both. It's got like a traditional Greek kind of wave border, but the face is a little like Alphonse Mucha. Anyway, Versace Bright Crystal Eau de Toilette. I'm trying not to look at the notes again. I saw some fruit, but I'm trying not to look closely. That is what the full-size bottle looks like. And it is, let me get that out of there, an itty bitty little spray tube. So mini. It's a pretty pink though. It's a very soft baby pink. I'm not getting a ton out of the tube, so let's give it a spritz or two. I did not like that spritz. I'm not surprised because it's the tiniest little tube in the world. It's very violent spray. Oh. So far so good, I would say. Let's give it a little air out. It is definitely dominantly sweet and bright right off the top. I like that. It is. I'm getting a very minimal base note. We'll see if it settles. It is very much sweet and bright and top note heavy, which is what I typically like. It is kind of doing the thing. It's a pleasant scent, but it is a very homogeneous scent, where I'm getting kind of a generic sweet fruity floral, but you can't really pull out a lot from that. like, it's pleasant, but it's not very identifiable. I was about to say that it's pretty. It's pretty. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not mad at it. It doesn't feel very unique, because I realized, like, I can't really name any individual scents, but what it feels like is like some kind of like Garnier Fructis shampoo, which is not bad. Like every Bath and Body Works Garnier Fructis, like, you know, just that like kind of, I'm thinking like drugstore shampoo, where they have some like generically fruity scent. Like, they all smell nice. There's nothing wrong with them. I don't ever smell them and go, ew. I'm just like, that sure is some kind of fruit. That's what this is giving. And it's inoffensive, but like, I need to know how much a bottle of this is. I'm sure it's not cheap. Hold on. Let me see. Versace's Bright Crystal. Show me. Yeah, okay. The full size of these, the largest one, the 200 milliliter, which is, I think, yeah, of course, the one they're showing in here. That one is $155. For the eau de toilette. The Parfum is even more expensive for less of it. But for the eau de toilette, which is what we're smelling, it is $155 for a full-size bottle. To smell like a generic fruity shampoo is not my go-to. Again, if you love this scent, I'm so happy for you. I would never yuck anybody's yum on a perfume. I love that for you. I would not spring. I would not. Get the sample if you want. I would not spend $155 on this personally. Now let's see. See, this is why I got this. There are so many cool notes listed on here for what this is supposed to smell like, and it does not deliver. So it says this is supposed to be yuzu. Right on the top it says yuzu. I am obsessed with yuzu. I will order anything that it says it smells or tastes like yuzu. My favorite scent and taste in the world. I love yuzu so much. I got zero yuzu from it. It says yuzu iced accord, so I think it's supposed to be fresh and crisp, like an icy beverage, I would guess. Pomegranate, again, generically fruity, I guess. It didn't even smell citrusy like yuzu, which is disappointing. Then peony, magnolia, lotus flower, acajou, musk, and vegetal amber. The olfactive family is flower, fruity, and musk. It smells even soapier and more like a shampoo now. I will say I'm very glad I am getting extremely minimal musk. I am not a musk girl. I do not like musk scents at all. So I'm not picking up a lot of musk, and to me that is a good thing. If you want musk, maybe give this one a miss. I get that there is fruit and there is floral. Peony kind of makes sense. Peony, like, is the one thing I'd be like, yeah, okay, I kind of get that out of everything. Like, I don't think you're lying if you say there's pomegranate in there, but it doesn't smell like a pomegranate. It doesn't smell like any of the things. It smells like a generic fruity perfume. So this one, I will say, I was not expecting to love this. My expectations were thoroughly mid, and I would say they were met with a thoroughly mid perfume, in my personal, humble opinion. So, I would say Versace Bright Crystal is a miss from me, but a generally inoffensive scent. If you're looking for something that's like an elevated perfume, an elevated shampoo body wash kind of scent, then that might be the one for you. Now, this one. I'm gonna be honest. It sounded good. I bought it halfway because I thought it had the cutest packaging of all time. Look at how cute this is. This is Kensie Berry Beauty. It has the cutest little strawberry and daisy print on the box. And they're all raised and textured. And then along the top and the sides, it has that berry texture, which I think is so cute. It has the fragrance notes on the back. I'm again trying not to read them. I do have to get this one out of the plastic. She's free. And again, oh, it's even prettier out of the plastic because the berries are all glossy on there. That's a very pretty print. I love good packaging. Ooh. You can hear it sloshing there. I could do a whole video just on packaging. I love good packaging design. I love it so much. Ooh, and the sides are also textured. They have the shine. It's hard to capture, but all of these little white flecks are shiny compared to the matte, semi-matte kind of box texture. They're all slightly raised. Really pretty packaging on this one. Alright. Let's get into it. A lot of cardboard going on in here. Oh, it's just really nested in cardboard. Oh, but this is cute. This is very cute. It is a very sweet bottle. Kensie Berry Beauty. It has the strawberry and daisy on the back, and if you rotate it, it's just a sweet strawberry and daisy print. The whole thing is kind of pink toned. You can see the tint to it with a clear crystal lid that says Kensie's name on top. There you go. You can kind of see it there. It has the printing on here. Leaves an interesting texture, but it is nice slim glass bottle. Now this one, from the name, I think we can all infer, is a berry scent, and I am always encouraged by anything that puts fruit first on the box, you know? So I am hopeful that this will be a scent for me. It was the combination of the berry notes and the adorable packaging that made this irresistible for me to go in. This one is a full 100 milliliter or 3.4 ounce eau de parfum. It was a bit of a spring for this one. I think this was another. I still got it at a bargain because it was through Ipsy, I'm pretty sure, but I sprung for the full size, which is unusual for me because I like a lot of scents. I don't wear a lot of scents, so I tend to get samples of everything before I would ever commit to a full size. How are you supposed to come off? Hello. Hold on. I think I need 2 hands. Okay, the lid is violent to take on and off. That spooked me. I felt like I was breaking something. It's a cute lid, but I scared myself. I'm not getting a lot right out of the bottle. Let's give it a spritz. It is, unsurprisingly, fruity right off the bat. I'm gonna click this over here. I'm trying to get away from the microphone. Okay. It doesn't want to close again. Oh, that's so loud. Okay, the most aggressive lid closure, but hopefully a nice perfume. Let's see. Okay, I'm processing. It definitely has that bright kind of berry sweetness. It is kind of running into a little bit of the problem I feel like that Versace Bright Crystal had, where like that one, like you could tell was fruit but couldn't tell was what fruit. This one, like, I would not smell and go, oh, that's strawberry, which is what I'd think based on the packaging. But, like, there are definite berry notes to it, if that makes sense. Like, I would smell it and go, yeah, that's berry. But it doesn't read as a berry, specifically. Honestly, the whole scent is surprisingly mild. Like, I know I've smelled a lot by now, so that's partially probably on me, but it's not super strong. So there's the sweetness of berry, and I don't know if I'm just projecting based on the floral kind of daisy motif, but it seems like there is kind of I mean, obviously there's a floral note, but it doesn't smell just like a typical, just like sweet flower. It's not just like a peony or a rose that has like a more of that soapy kind of floral. It's almost like like a rounded floral, like the kind of floral that still smells like a nice flower, but has like the complexity of like something a little bit like hay or grassy, like not grassy in a green way, but grassy in like a warm, rich way. Honestly, like a daisy feels more like a wild flower versus like a manicured rose flower, kind of. I would say it is pleasant. It feels more unique than Bright Crystal did. I think I would have to wear this one on the skin to get a full take on it. It's honestly surprisingly mild. I'm not getting a huge hit of scent from it. And it feels very youthful, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. Like, it is pleasant. Again, it kind of melds together into a one-note experience for me, and is kind of, again, I don't mean this in an insulting way, but kind of giving like Bath and Body Works like body spray, like body mist kind of thing, where like it doesn't feel like an elevated scent. It feels like a cute, fun kind of summery scent, which is like, there's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't feel very fancy. It feels like a casual scent. There is a shocking number of scent notes listed on this box for how simple the scent actually is my take. This says the top notes: strawberry, peach nectar, and apple blossom. I did not get any peach, and I really like peach, so that's a bummer to me. There's the generic berry. Apple blossom, I think, could kind of explain to me some of like that like fruity and floral crossover, so I can get that. Mid notes are the wild daisies, that which tracks with the bottle, and I think is some of that like more earthy kind of floral that I was finding. Jasmine, juicy pear, and sugar crystals. Much to process. I'm not getting jasmine. Jasmine is usually such a dominating smell. I'm shocked that I am not detecting jasmine in there. Like, maybe it's just such a small bit of it that it's kind of falling into that generic floral kind of tone. Like, if I'm really processing, I could convince myself that I smelled jasmine. But jasmine is such a unique scent that I find it really surprising that I didn't, like, pick it up right off the bat, you know? Pear, again, nothing that's uniquely pear, but, like, can fall into that fruity family. and sugar, like short, sweet, whatever. Base notes, golden amber, sweet vanilla musk. Again, you are not picking up like an aggressive musk. Sure, there's generic like amber and a little bit of like base note. It is finally, the base notes are starting to hit in here. It's still dominantly top note, like sweet top note, and the base notes are gentle. They're there. I think that's fair. Like, I don't think you want this to be like a deep, rich, kind of like base note heavy perfume. I think it is supposed to be a light perfume. I think it's cute. I think it is an inoffensive scent. It is the kind of thing that like I imagine wearing when you're like 15 and having a pool day. You know, like it's sweet, it's kind of nostalgic, there's nothing wrong with it. I find it a little disappointing just based on how much is listed on there that I don't feel like actually conveys in the wear of the perfume. Again, like I would give it a shot and see if it develops more on the skin, but based on this scent, I'm like, it feels like they put a lot of work into it for not a ton of result. I'm like, okay, like, sure, it's fine. I'm not mad at it. It's fine. But here's the thing. It's gonna be a really cute bottle on a shelf. I'm like not even mad because it's gonna be a really cute decor piece. Like I might spritz it once a summer or something, but it's gonna be cute on a shelf. Alright, she is sealed again. Honestly, the box is maybe my favorite part. I think it is so cute. Alright. Now, we're on to our final 3 scents, and these are the ones that I think most excited about. So, these all come from 2 different perfume houses that are favorites of mine. The first 2 we're going to talk about come from Sniff. That's Sniff, S-N-I-F. And I know them for doing really unique scents. Actually, I have one within reach because it's one that I often keep on my desk. It's Sniff's Rose Era, when I just want like a really pretty but like still surprisingly complex floral scent that's like bright and fresh. This is my go-to. It is a really beautiful rose scent, but with like a kind of jammy strawberry note to it, which I like a lot. They do really unique scent mixes and are bold with it, which I like. And they do a lot of really fun collaborations with other creators. Like they have a chocolatey scent, House of 8, that I really liked. That was a collab with somebody else. They just did a collaboration that I haven't tried, but it was like a pistachio based one that sounded interesting. They do really unique scents, and I love that. I'm all about unique scents. They also, though, have a scent lab where they trial their most experimental scents. And I have tried a couple of perfumes from them before. They are very concept-heavy perfumes, where like they did one that was based on gasoline. Did not get that one. I hate the smell of gasoline. The ones I have tried from them before, I tried one that is supposed to smell like I think it was a croissant with jam on it, which was pretty good. It smelled, in my opinion, like sometimes perfumes that are supposed to have a note of baked goods specifically have like a little bit of a cloyingness that hits wrong for me, and it had just a little too much of that for me to be an everyday wear smell. But it was like delightfully jammy. It had like beautiful blackberry jam notes. I have tried another one which was a scent based on pizza, which I would love to actually revisit in another video. Like, I would be very interested if you guys like this kind of perfume review. I have a ton of perfumes, some that are like, I could talk about daily rotation perfumes, I could talk about some that are like my hit or miss perfumes. I don't know, we could figure it out. Let me know if you want more. But there's one that was based on pizza that I will say I have never worn on my skin because I hated it first out of the box. I was so into the idea of it. They were talking about like notes of tomato and basil and like like this milkiness from cheese and like a bread base, and like I was excited for the idea of like bread base, like a sourdough kind of like hearty bread smell. Instead it ended up a little bit with that like cloying sweetness that comes with, I think there's just some note that is often used for mixing like flour based baked good scents that I don't like a lot. And it's unsurprising that I had the same issue with those two like different baked good scented things from them. But I applaud the bravery, and I am always excited to smell them. So, with that being said, I took a risk, because not only did I get 2 more scents from the scent lab, I ordered one like mid-sized, and then got a free sample with it of another scent. So not only did I get one that is from the scent lab, I got another one that's based on a baked good, I fear. I have it upside down. But I couldn't resist the brief. I love a concept perfume, and this one, it's called Naughty Nona. And it is, it says on the back, it's Nonna, a bit naughty, a bit nice. Step into the kitchen with a scent that's as unforgettable as your Nona's secret recipe, serving up a freshly baked fruitcake with rich spice notes. I'm not going to say all the notes yet. I mean, it's not going to be a huge spoiler because we know it's supposed to smell like fruitcake, but I want to smell it before I read all the notes. It is supposed to be a boozy fruitcake scented perfume, and that is such a delightful concept to me that I was like, I have to smell it. I fear I have to smell it. So this is not the full size. Also, just their packaging is so fun. I love their graphic design. I think it's just stunning. They have just a very fresh, like, modern aesthetic that I like a lot. But so this is not the full size perfume. Oh, and look at that. You can see, oh, you can't, it's not picking up on the camera, which is sad. I'm trying to see it. It doesn't really look, oh, there we go. You can kind of see if I block me out. Has their signature kind of scent swirl done in gloss on the matte white background. But you can see this is still a mini. They give you a mini in a pretty big box, but I think this is a 25 ml. Let me see. Surely it's listed on here somewhere, but I confess I am not seeing it anywhere. Oh, is it on the bottle? Absolutely not. I think this is the 25 ml, which is their, like, kind of elevated sample size from their mini minis, which we'll get into in a minute with another one of their scents. But let me see if I can get the plastic wrap off this baby. It's got those little perforations, but trying to get in there is sometimes a doozy. Oh, there we go. There we go. That was some loud plastic. I'll have to dip all of those audios. Okay. Very sweet, very boozy, right as soon as it's unwrapped. Let's spritz her. I'm telling you right now, I do not expect this to be a daily wear scent, but like, can you imagine the holidays showing up at a holiday party smelling like fruitcake? This is my vision. Ooh, good spritz. Good spritz. Oh. Oh, she's potent. This is an out there perfume. Oh my. This smells like a fruitcake. That is so funny. Like, oh, that hits the mark on the scent. Holy cow. I am genuinely shocked. Like, it's not kind of like a fruitcake. Like, I open that, I'm like, that's a fruitcake. Wow, Wow, okay. So I will say it does have that like sweet, bready dessert note that their other scents have had, which is not my favorite, but it is less offensive in this mix in particular because fruitcake is something that is supposed to be kind of cloyingly sweet in my mind. So it plays way nicer in this than it did in their previous bready smells that I had issues with. Wow, okay. So very sweet, very desserty, very bready. I immediately, the first smell, like when you spritz it, those top notes, it smells exactly like rich, jammy, dried fruits rehydrated in alcohol. It smells like raisins and apricots and dried fruits that have been soaked in like rum. It was uncanny, truly uncanny. And then as it develops, you get way more of the spice. Like I'm totally getting this spice base of like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, that kind of like holiday spice mix that feels so nostalgic. This is like totally a scent experience kind of smell that I am really enjoying. See, this is the thing, is it's like a bizarre perfume, but it's so much fun to smell. That's what I really like about their Scent Lab stuff, that even if it's not an everyday wear, like, it's fun. It's a way of playing with scent that I think is so delightful. It's so delightful. It really cracks me up. It just, like, it feels like a humorous scent, but, like, it's still pleasant. It's not like a haha joke kind of thing. It's like a tongue-in-cheek. It's an endearing reference to something we all know and love and appreciate. That's cozy, that's pleasant, that like, it feels like a hug from your grandma, it feels like a holiday party, like, it feels like the moment when like, you're coming in from the cold, you open the door and suddenly this waft of heat comes in, like when you're coming into a grandma's kitchen, and it's just, you can smell that things have been baking, and that's like, you know you're home for the holidays, like, it's that in a perfume, which is so good. Like, I can't get over the, like, nostalgia element of the smell. Like, this is how I was saying that, like, perfume and scent can be so memory-based and emotional-based. And this is so funny. I don't even have an Italian grandma. I don't have a grandma who was baking a fruitcake. This is, like, combined with my own memories to create a new memory based on how evocative the scent is, and that alone I think is a feat. Like, the problem is I want to yap about this forever. I don't know what else to say. It's delightful. But like, I'm okay, let me read what it says on the box, because this is just, I'm just having fun. Okay, so continuing the description. Nona secret recipe, serving up a freshly baked fruitcake with rich spiced notes and an extra splash of booze. Perfect for those who are sweet but love to stir up a little trouble. Naughty Nona is the scent that says being good is overrated. And this is off their secret menu, an experiment in scent and discretion from Nonoses Inc. Underneath, of course, Sniff perfumes. I want to look this one up to see the full scent list, because they give the vibes here. Let me see. It's Crumb Couture is the name of the croissant one I was trying to remember. There we go. And Dead Dinosaur is the gasoline one I skipped. And then the pizza one, Slice Society. Okay, Naughty Nona. Their visuals are so good. I recommend going to their website because it's very funny. Alright, and also I absolutely lied. It's a 10 milliliter fragrance. It's a 10 mil, not a 25. I am terrible at estimating estimating volumes, distances, any measurement. Okay. So this one, it says smells like candied ginger, bits of orange, prune, so there's that dried fruit, rum, walnut, and vanilla glaze. It's spiced, it's sweet, it has that fruitiness, it has that alcohol, the richness like comes in from the walnut and like the bready base. I think it's a masterpiece of a scent. I definitely do not think this is a perfume for everybody, but it is a masterpiece of a scent. I am delighted. I am enchanted. I have been taken away on a journey. Just absolutely marvelous all around. I'm sad to put her away, but thankfully the scent is strong enough that she will not leave me. So let's file that back away. Stack it back in the box. Lovely. Now, they did give me a free sample with this one of the one other scent from the secret menu that I haven't talked about yet, which is maybe too tiny to see. Oh, you can kind of see it. Soda Snob. So at the same time that they dropped Slice Society, the pizza one, they also dropped Soda Snob, which is supposed to smell like all of the advertising was like, they didn't say Coca-Cola because that's a brand name, but it was like that brown syrupy kind of cola reference. And I confess I was not particularly interested in this one because I am not a cola kind of girl. I have never been big into any sodas, and especially not like a classic Coca-Cola brown soda kind of thing. But if I was getting it for free, I wasn't gonna say no. So I will give it a sniff. I doubt I'll hate it because it's gonna be a nice sweet perfume, but I also doubt it will be my favorite, and this one is their teeny tiny 2 milliliter baby sample. Let's give her a spritz. God, they have good spritzers. I love you, Sniff. I love you. Oh. Oh. This is better than I expected it to be. Like, it definitely does have the vibe of soda. Like, they're not off the mark with that. But it is much brighter than I was expecting. Like, it has almost a citrusiness to it. Like, and there's like a kind of candied sweetness that I think gives off like a hint of like that kind of rich caramelly kind of note that can end up in some sodas like that. And it has like an effervescence to the smell that I think really captures like the bubbliness of a soda like that. Yeah, like I feel like I had the right assessment of like, this is not necessarily a scent I want to wear. I think it's a very cool scent. I think it's an interesting scent. I would like to smell this on somebody else. Like, I would love to go to lunch and sit next to my friend wearing this scent and just like sniff them a little bit, you know? You know how we do when your friends smell good. Like, it's super interesting. It is a very pleasant smell, and it actually feels wearable. That's the most interesting part, because a lot of these unique scents of theirs are like, I feel like concept scents that like you have to be bold to translate to daily wear. And this one I think is the most accessible of the secret menu scents that I've tried. Naughty Nona is definitely up there too, because it's just like, it's a sweet desserty smell. But this is something that, like, if I didn't know it was trying to be soda, I feel like that's a unique and interesting perfume, you know? So it's sweet, it's citrusy, it's bubbly and effervescent. And it has just like a hint of something like kind of herbal, like in the way that like some sodas sneak in like a hint of like sarsaparilla or something like one of those things that are like, this is like, soda isn't just sweet, it's got a little like funk to it that you never quite know what it is. Like, this captures that. So let me see how they describe this one. This is Soda Snob. There we go. Exactly. Fizzy lime, cinnamon, secret cola accord. Surprise! Jasmine is in here again. This is another one. I would not have pegged it as jasmine, but there is a pleasant floralness to it, so I think a really good use of the jasmine. Caramel and vanilla. So I think it's that secret cola accord that's giving that little bit of just like a hint of something like herbal and funky, like pleasantly funky, but just like something a little unknown. It's like that secret recipe kind of vibe. This one I think they really nailed. I think they really nailed it. I am not a cola girly, so this will not be my go-to, but I think they exactly nailed it. It is what it says on the box. It smells like a soda but an elevated soda. This is not like a lip smackers, like Coca-Cola lip smackers vibe. This is the like, I am a grown-up, but also I know how to have fun kind of soda. Like, nobody would be like, why are you wearing like lip smackers as perfume right now? If you wore this, I'd be like, you smell great, but also you smell like a fun person. I think that's very fun. Okay. Let me package away the little baby. And we are on to our final perfume, which, boy howdy, this one's a doozy. This is actually what I was waiting for going into this. And I think I need a sip of tea before we launch in because I've been yapping. I should know these videos are going to take me forever. I literally, before this, I was like, should I pull out more perfumes? I should not. I've been recording for an hour and a half. Much better. Okay. This is the perfume that I was waiting for to start this. Now, for anyone who doesn't know me very well, I have an aside in the world of horror. I used to run a horror movie podcast. I write horror sometimes. I love a good horror movie. I love spooky things. In case I don't look like it, Halloween and all things spooky are very much my vibe. So I have, and I love classic stuff too. Like, I love like the old Dracula, black and white, Vincent Price kind of era. And for anyone not in the know on horror movies, Robert Eggers is remaking Nosferatu, the old black and white OG vampire film Nosferatu. I was already very excited about this. And then, in one of the most unexpected collaborations, truly unanticipated by me personally, one of my favorite perfume houses, Heretic Parfum, did a collaboration with the Nosferatu release to make their own Nosferatu scent, which comes in this very large, this very imposing black box. Now, there are a few things I want to say before I open it up. Firstly, I am very excited for this. I have a few other scents from Heretic that I really like. They are another company that I think does unique scents in a way that I like. They're less concept focused than I think Sniff is. They are more dedicated to making like unique, evocative kind of scents that are less like a specific item that they're conjuring and more of like a memory and a vibe, but they are not afraid to get funky and put weird notes in there. I have a few scents from them that I really enjoy. I like they have a line of like dirty some kind of scent, so they have like a whole bunch of, there's some florals, there's some fruits. I'm a big fan of their dirty peach and dirty mango, which are two different fruit scents that add some complexity to them, with like some woodiness, and it kind of, I say this respectfully, smells like, you know, a slutty mango, which is exactly what I want in a scent. It's perfect for me. If I do a review of like my daily rotation scents, I will absolutely talk about those. But going into this, I was like, I know I love Heretic. I know I love what they do. I will say one caveat, if you are thinking about buying from them, you have not before. One of their big things is that they are all about being like a clean, natural perfume line, which is fine if that's something you're into. I personally don't care that much about that. Like, I think there are places that, like, the natural label matters. Like, natural is an undefined thing. This is a whole marketing talk that we don't need to get into. But if that's, like, your vibe, that's great. In perfume specifically, I am not too worried about that. Like, I don't, it's just not a top priority for me. But because of that, their scents, since they are focused on being, like, naturally sourced, they are not as long lasting as other perfumes that use synthetic elements. So I have noticed with a lot of their perfumes, I do have to like reapply several times throughout the day if I want to keep smelling like that. So this is like my Heretic perfumes I think are beautiful. I think are wonderfully mixed. They're like a keep in your purse perfume if you're going to be out for a day, you know. Now, anyway, returning to this specifically, returning to Nosferatu, the vibes for this, interesting, unusual. It was not my usual kind of perfume that I go for, but I don't care. I'm there for the experience, and it still sounded nice. And before I even crack that open, first I want more lip gloss on because my lips are getting dry. Not lip gloss, lip oil, which is why it has absorbed after an hour and a half. But I also feel like I need to be sufficiently vampy for the Nosferatu perfume. But there we go. Also, for anyone curious, this is the Etude House oil tint in number 2 Plum Berry. It's a very nice formula. It feels very smooth on the lips. But their packaging went wild for this. The whole box was scented, so you open the package and you immediately smell the perfume. So while I haven't cracked open the box yet, I've already gotten a whiff of it, and it was very nice, spoiler alert. But they also sent, hold on, I have to reach. They sent a whole newspaper for the collaboration. It can't even fit in frame. There's a whole newspaper that they sent along, which includes all of these stills from the film, and it says, it's too big. We seem to have an undying love for vampires, which I fully believe is true, as we should. But they really went all out to set the mood with this one, which delights me. Like I said, just like I love good packaging, I love anything that you get that creates an experience, and this emphatically creates an experience that I think is really delightful. And I have been so excited to open this box. So, let's get into it. Okay. Here's the box. Heretic on there. It's magnetic, which I like. Oh, hush. This is great. This box has been fragranced with Nosferatu. It says on the back, Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is a gothic tale of the obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. Succumb to the darkness. Christmas 2024. So, I should have said, this one and Naughty Nona are very contemporary launches. These both just came out. This one I had pre-ordered, so these are very much currently just dropped on the menu kind of perfumes. You can see this one, it's all black on black. It has the wax seal here that has Heretic's name and logo. It is all in very nice, pretty black tissue paper. I'm already sad about tearing into this, but you see how non-destructively I can do it. The answer is not very. It all together. Let's see. I'm so excited. We got samples of other perfumes. Surprise, there are extras. And this includes one of the new perfumes that I had wanted to try. Oh, I'm so excited. I thought we had 9 perfumes. It looks like we get 11. Look at that. Okay. I am adding those samples to the stack to deal with in a minute. Because look how beautiful this is. In the nest. A nest of black paper. This makes a great gift, I will say. This feels like a gift to me from me. Just absolutely ensconced in the nest of black on black. And, oh my, there's another one. We have 12. We have 12 perfumes. And these, all 3 of these are other ones that I have not tried from them, so they will be new to me. This is so exciting. This is going to be a 2-hour long video. Oh no. Alright. Let me wrap this up. Magnetically sealed. Just gonna pop that down on the floor. And now we get the actual box. The actual box. And I am so excited for how this is gonna smell. I just realized I'm gonna have to cut more pieces of paper. That's fine. We're getting crafty with it. This one, Nosferatu. See, it has the signature font that is being used, obviously, for the title of the film, which I think is stunning. I love the gothic design of it. Okay. That took a second, but I got it out. It took a second, but we're there. Okay. I pop that down. And again, another layer. This one again. You can see just the hint of it. Heretic is on there again in the glossy black on matte black. And there she is. Now, Heretic's bottles are quite simple. This is like their other perfumes. You can see it's a clear glass bottle with the Nosferatu logo on there. Very pretty. They are little, quite thick, hardy glass bottles, which I'm certainly not mad about. Oh, I just saw. Normally, plastic lids are plain, but take a look at the top of this one. It has this kind of runic sigil on top of there, which I have seen appears to be a common element in some of the artistry from the film. So I love that as like a little touch of the movie in the perfume itself. So I have so much anticipation. I'm like almost reluctant to actually open it, but I've already gotten a hint from the scented box, so. Ooh. my microphone is going to be smelling nice for a while. But, oh, this is pretty. This is pretty. Okay. Okay. Wow. Yes. Yes. Sorry. I'm distracted by how pretty the packaging is again. Oh. Oh. Okay, this is surprisingly complex. This is, okay, when you first spritz it, you get the top notes. Very bright and floral. Surprisingly bright and floral, but like in a classic way. It's lilac. It smells like, you know, a hit of walking, just like you're walking past a freshly blooming lilac bush and you get that whiff of that on the fresh air. Like, it's a very traditional, classic floral, so it feels old, it feels evocative and moody, while still having a really bright freshness to it. But then it settles into something much more complex. This is really interesting. Like, it's hard to describe, which honestly I think is perfect for the vibe of Nosferatu, where you have something initially seductive but like fundamentally unknowable. It's like the scent of nature. There's the scent of rain, there's the scent of earth. It's very grounded. It feels almost unnervingly organic, but like in a pleasant way. Like, it is a scent that feels both familiar and like ever so slightly unsettling. Like a phenomenon of nature that is almost too wild for a person to smell like, but at the same time, it's a really pleasant perfume. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I will be wearing this. I will be wearing this. Alright, this is, the most interesting part is that it is a perfume that I remember has very few listed notes. It is quite simple in formula, like very few listed fragrance notes, but comes out as very complex, which this is like the inverse to me of some of the perfumes that I was complaining about earlier that have 87 notes that all morph together into something that feels basic. This is the inverse of carefully selecting and very intelligently selecting a few unique notes that elevate each other to create something more complex together. Because it is described as haunting, floral, and stormy, which absolutely nailed it. Let's see. What does the world of a vampire smell like? Heretic with Nosferatu present a scent that is also an apparition, otherworldly, straddling a line between this world and the next. Petrichor, lilac, ambergris, and oud form a beautifully pale and pellucid chord that will haunt you, but in the best possible way. And again, they are right. They did exactly what they said on the box. Because this is all that. This is all that. It is very, very interesting. Just like, it is a scent that makes you think. It makes me feel like I don't know exactly what's going on, but in a way that I enjoy. I'm like, I am delighted to be a little surprised by this. So you definitely, the initial hit is that fresh, bright lilac, and it feels like lilac in the rain. You get that petrichor, that freshness of water, but also the earthiness as it hits the soil. So you get this really lovely combination of like feeling like you're outdoors with fresh florals, rain, and earth, but it's really grounded. Like that baseline of the perfume is so complex when you get the ambergris, and it's not, I'm glad it's not like an offensive oud to me, because sometimes oud and other woody scents can be dominating and overpowering. This one, it forms a really interesting and complex base for everything else to sit on top of without the base notes being dominant. Like, they form a beautiful backdrop for all of the other scents, they become something complex and an undertone that's a little bit hard to place, but doesn't distract from what's happening in the top notes. Yeah, I think this is magnificent. I think it's beautifully mixed. I think it really, really hits the tone. As somebody who loves vampires, loves things spooky, loves these kind of like antique-y, old-feeling movies, this feels timeless. This feels classic. This feels both like it could exist in the 1800s and today equally. It is thoroughly pleasant. Like, this is, again, a scent that I will enjoy having on me. It is a scent I would enjoy smelling on somebody else. But it is definitely not, like, an everyday scent. Like, it is combining notes that are familiar into something unfamiliar in a way that I think is really lovely. Oh, I love this. I love this. I'm delighted. In case it wasn't clear, I am delighted. I am definitely going to be wearing this winter. I think it will be perfect for some spooky movie nights and stuff like that. It is a scent that I think it's going to make me feel beautiful and otherworldly, and that is usually how I want to feel, so I think this is perfect for me. And it is, again, a real feat that they've made me like this so much, because, like I said, I am usually a gourmand girly. Like, this is not a typical scent that I would lean towards. Like, if I was just reading the notes, I bought it largely because of, the name, the associations. Like, I was suckered in by the collaboration, I admit, but this by far met and exceeded the brief as far as I am concerned, in delivering something that feels unique and special, and it's more than just like a cash grab collaboration. Like, look, we are in an era right now with some major films coming out that are seeing a lot of, in my personal opinion, silly cash grab collabs that don't make a lot of sense. This makes sense. This lives in the world of the film in a way that I think is beautifully done. Like, this is a perfume that gets the source material. This is an artistic collaboration and not just like slapping a brand name on a product. And I am very happy about that. Okay, I have 3 more perfumes. I'm opening my desk drawer here. Let's pull out my extra paper. I have to do a little snip, get us a couple more test sheets. One moment. There we go. Now, we should have just enough. 3 more papers, and surprise, surprise, 3 more perfumes. This is the nice surprise I get for not opening my package ahead of time. Try to gently close the desk drawer. Good enough. Alright, so, with 3 extra scents in here. So, we have Scarlet Moon, which is one of their newest collaborations with RMS Beauty. There is Dirty Hinoki, which this one, like I was talking about with their Dirty Whatever line, so this is either dirty take on Hinoki wood. I suspect this will not be my favorite because I don't usually go for woodsy scents, but I am excited to smell it because I haven't smelled this one before. And then a sample of Coeur Noir, which I think is another one of their newer scents. Also, it's a little hard to see. It's a very kind of pretty, hollow, shiny blue-gray bag. But this is one of their newer, darker scents, I believe. That, again, I have not smelled any of these. I'm going to start, I think, with Dirty Hinoki. This is one I know has been part of their collection for a long time, and it is one that I think is nice but not a me scent, so it's never really appealed to me to order before. But I have this one in an itty bitty little sample bottle, so let's give her a spritz. Where is her? There it is. Perfect spritz right out of there. Whew. Oh, okay. Immediate hits are like fresh pine. So like it is woody, but it's less like tree trunk and more pine needles, and that to me is far preferable. So I'm just trying to close this little box. There we go. Let's give it a waft. Okay. Oh, this is very pleasant. This smells like you just like cut down a Christmas tree. Oh, I am genuinely shocked by how much I like this. You heard me. I was fully prepared to not like this, and I'm being very pleasantly surprised. Yeah, because I usually think I don't like woody scents, and I think that's true, but I like piney scents. It's that kind of like conifer scent that is really pleasant. So it's dominantly that kind of like piney vibe. There's just like a subtle hint of sweetness under there. And I would say just like the barest hint of smoke, which usually, again, I don't usually like smoke, but this is not unpleasant. This feels like you're like out on the woods and somebody is having a campfire a mile away. But like there's not smoke blowing in your face or anything. It's just like part of the texture of the world in a way that is pleasant. Yeah, this is very nice. It feels fresh and elevated. This reminds me a tiny bit. It's not as like sweet, but there is a perfume. Oh, what is the perfume house? I am blanking on the name of it. Oh, let me think. I can picture all of the packaging. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Finally, my searches have come through. There we go. Okay. I had to do some searching, but I remembered. Imaginary Authors. Another very creative perfume house that I tend to enjoy. They have, I got a sample set from them a few years ago, and I got one that I honestly did not think was going to be my go-to, but I want to see if I can find, there we go. Yeah, it ended up being one of my favorites of the set. Their perfume Cape Heartache, which like the three top notes from that are Douglas Fir, Strawberry, and Mountain Fog. And again, I was like, I don't like woody things, I'm probably not going to like this. And I'm clearly learning that I should know better, because that one, the mixture of the sweetness with the pine, like fir notes, so lovely. I always think of that scent, like reminds me of like, it feels like a Hosier song or something, like something sweet out in the depths of the woods. And this, like, it's not quite as sweet, it's not like berry sweet, but it has just enough of that sweetness to hit some of that like nostalgic freshness that I enjoyed. Alright, let me actually look up the notes of this one instead of talking about another perfume. Okay, Heretic. There we go. Ah, of course their homepage is on Nosferatu. Let me look up. Away with your pop-ups, I'm already on your mailing list. Let's see, Hinoki. Dirty Hinoki, there we go. Okay, no wonder I like this. That sweet sweetness I'm getting in the top notes? It's lemon, and we know I love lemon. So the top notes are lemon, cedar, nutmeg, thyme, and pine. And that, like, the pine and the thyme are working together so beautifully. Heart notes, hinoki and cypress. And the base notes, elemi, wormwood, fir absolute, ambretolide, balsam, and frankincense. And again, one of the things that always makes me nervous about the Dirty line is that they tend to go into like frankincense and incense kind of scents, which are not my favorite. I think I was worried that this would be both woody and heavy on like the frankincense, but it is a much brighter and lighter and fresher mix than I anticipated. They describe it on the website as earthy and ethereal, and I think that's a fair description. Like, it feels natural but elevated. I think I also call it a Japanese forest bath in a bottle, and you know what? I think that feels right. I'm totally pleasantly surprised by this one. I didn't think I was going to be a fan, but Dirty Hinoki, you have surprised me entirely pleasantly. Alright, we've got to hustle through the last ones because I've been recording for 2 hours. I see the sun rising. My throat is getting tired, but I'm excited to smell these 2 last perfumes. Alright. I'm gonna go in for Coeur Noir. And this one, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember a thing about it. So, we are going in very blind on this one. Anything yet, so let me see. We have again got an itty bitty little sample bottle, and nothing wrong with that. Let's give it a spritz. I have no idea what to expect. Another good spray. Oh. Okay. In order. The very first scent I got was like wet moss. It smelled like a forest floor on a rainy day or misty day. Then I got a hit of something sweet and spicy. I am baffled, delighted. I like this. Again, I'm surprised by how much I like this because this is not a traditionally me scent, but is very interesting. Okay, this is very complex, very spicy. Very weirdly, this feels like it's almost a sweet spot between that natural earthy woodsiness of Dirty Hinoki and like just a hint, not all the way there, but a hint of the like boozy sweetness of Naughty Nona. Like, it feels very earthy and natural, but it's very spiced. Like, it feels spicy. And there's this hit of sweetness behind it, but it's not like a bright floral, like elevated sweetness. It's like a rich, hearty sweetness, which is why it's evoking that dried fruit for me. Like, I don't actually know what it's coming from, but it has that kind of moodiness of the sweetness. This is going to be a fantastic winter scent. Like, oh, I like this. I'm so surprised. I need to look at what it is. I remember, I can tell you, I'm sure I scrolled past this on the website at some point and was like, that sounds fine, but like not like my thing. But I lied. It is my thing. Fascinating. Okay, this is another one that returns to their formula of very few notes that end up smelling so complex. You heard how much I yapped about this, how much I thought about it. There are 3 listed notes. Top note, rosewood. Middle note, labdanum. I can't say it. Labdanum. It's a little late for a tongue twister like that. Labdanum. And then base note is just Madagascar vanilla. So rosewood, labdanum, Madagascar vanilla, and it ends up becoming so beautifully complex. And they describe it as broodingly romantic, which I think is really true. Really true. Yeah, it says it's masterfully blended around a seductive labdanum-laced core with hints of woody notes and Madagascar vanilla. It will linger on your skin like a mysterious lover. Comes in a black fabric heart-shaped box. I fear I might have to order this one. I shouldn't, but I want to. I am amazed. Full shout outs to Heretic, because they have made me appreciate woody perfumes in a way that I never have and never thought I would. Because it's not just like a basic, like I just saw down a tree kind of wood, like they are using unique woods that like elevate and add to the fragrances. Like the rosewood is really unique. The spiciness is just lovely. Like it feels like it's evoking like a baked good because the vanilla blending with the spiciness of the wood like almost feels like that baked good kind of vibe, but like it feels so like natural and raw in a way that I think is enchanting and stunning. This one is also limited edition. Oh no, I'm finding things I have to buy. I'm supposed to be not buying more perfume, obviously. But this is so lovely. I'm totally impressed by this. Totally impressed by this. Really delighted. Absolutely delighted. I'm going to pop this back away. I genuinely think this is going to become a regular rotation scent for me. Did not expect that, but I am delighted. Really impressed by that. And I should have known better because they are so good at like cultivating the mood of these, and this was part of a whole like gothic collection they released, and of course I'll love that. Of course I'll love that. But I was like, I know the notes I like, and I don't. Heretic knows me better than I know me. Alright, let's go to the final perfume. This is Scarlet Moon, and this is a collaboration scent between Heretic and RMS Beauty. And I know I saw this one when it launched, but I don't remember what it's like. I like the name a lot, though. Scarlet Moon feels like a scent I should like, so I am optimistic based on how much I've liked the other scents from them so far. Everyone's been a hit, so let's go in for Scarlet Moon and see what this one's like. That one caught my fingers a little bit, so let's hope I like it. Ooh, okay. Immediately, this is feeling the freshest and brightest of the bunch. Like, this has a fruitiness in it, like more, it's definitely a brighter, like more fruity, floral kind of scent. Strong florals. Okay, so far, top notes are dominantly floral, but like a little bit of herbaceousness under it. It's settling into something almost like jammy in the mid notes, like it's giving like a strawberry jam kind of vibe, but like, so not like it is a brightness of berry, but like a berry that's been like simmered down for a while, you know, into something a little jammier, which I like. Let's see if we can get some base notes. Okay. There's like, it's not spiced in the way of like cinnamon or the pine like the previous ones were. but it has just like this richness at the heart that has like just a hint of like the kind of spice. I don't know if it's sandalwood exactly, but just has that hint of like a little something extra in it. I would say on the whole, it comes together in a very soft scent. Like, even though there's a lot happening, it feels gentle. Like, it's like, it's not some scents that are like super sweet end up being punchy, and I don't mind that, but this has really potent, exciting stuff happening, but still feels like a very gentle scent. Like, this feels like silk gliding across the skin, if you will. Yeah, I would give it, it's dominant on the top notes. I'm getting a lot of fresh and floral, but like with some complexity behind it, and a little bit of like jammy fruitiness in the middle. So let me see if it says anything here. Okay, a tiny bit, but I want to get the fuller look. A fuller look from me on the website. Let me look up RMS and Heretic Scarlet Moon. Alright. A collaboration with RMS Beauty, Scarlet Moon is a mysterious and magical scent of bright and juicy blood orange. Of course I like it. Illuminated with notes of verdant violet leaf, and comforting Japanese Hinoki wood. It's the Hinoki coming back. This is the day we're discovering that I like Hinoki, and I didn't know I did. Okay, so the top notes: blood orange, petitgrain, and Italian mandarin, which is interesting. I'm surprised. Like, it has the sweetness of citrus, and like now that I'm smelling it, I am getting more citrus. But it's funny that I didn't like it. Picks up as a really well-rounded citrus, not a sharp citrus. So I didn't get like the zest immediately. It feels mellowed a little bit, not in a bad way. And then heart notes: violet leaf, elemi, Siberian fir. Base notes: Hinoki wood, cedar leaf, Virginia cedar wood. I am shocked that there are no florals in here, because coming together, I absolutely thought the first notes were floral. Okay, I will say, I'm not sure if this is just that I am now biased because I've read the notes, but I feel like now that it's had a little more time to settle, those like middle notes and like the lower top notes of the citrus are becoming more dominant, so it is now actually smelling fruitier. It's leveled out to more like woodsy and fruity. I like this a lot. It really is impressive though how it almost created like the illusion of a floral. Maybe it's the combination of the violet leaf with the blood orange. Like, I guess maybe the petitgrain is pulling a lot of weight, but it really surprised me. Like, I swore there was a hit of florals right off the top, but either way, absolutely pleasant. It feels juicy. It's like, it feels juicy, but not like, it's weird to say it this way. It feels juicy, but not messy, if that makes sense. Like, this is a scent that, like, if it was a person, would have their shit together. It's like, it's beautiful, it feels artistic, it feels creative, but nothing is out of control in it. Like, it's very nicely balanced and like has a joyfulness to it, but isn't overstated. I think it's very nice. Like, one of the things with like fruity scents and stuff, I think they can lean really dominantly like summer, fun, tropical, like beachy, and this is undeniably fruity, but is so well grounded that it feels like it could be a year-round scent. Like, I think it's that combination of woods, and just the balance they did with the citrus that makes it a scent that feels incredibly wearable just all the time. I have to say again, Heretic totally hit it out of the park with these. I mean, I knew I liked them. It isn't a surprise that I like their scents. But this is, I think, my first time getting scents from them that aren't, like, exactly what I would normally get. Like, it's not tough for me to go and select scents that are, like, mango and peach, like my favorite things in the world. Like, of course I'm gonna like those. These are scents that I didn't fully expect to like and ended up absolutely adoring, which I think is a huge victory for them as a perfume house. Again, I appreciate them a lot. I think we found some really fun perfumes today, and what a fun treat it was to get bonus perfumes that even I didn't expect. I definitely think Heretic came out on top. I'm glad I saved them for the end. I think they really hit the sweet spot for me of really feeling unique and like something special, but being incredibly wearable. Like, as much as they evoke a mood, it's not like a concept scent where like I would be like, oh, I can't wear this to go just to the grocery store. I'm like, I could wear that scent anywhere. And I bring the mood with me, which I like a lot. Also, again, shout outs to Sniff. This one, Naughty Nona, I think was so much fun. I think their concept work is so creative. And again, if you like this kind of concept work, I do recommend checking out their more traditional scent line as well, because they do still get creative with scents that are a little more universally wearable. And I like them a lot. I like their mixing. Yeah, and there were some other fun ones. I would say one last shout out, I think, actually two. I did like, just checking everything. I was surprised by the Maison Loumari, number 13, Nouvelle. That one, again, not the most unique scent, but just like a really lovely, well-balanced, like, feels like a coconut macaroon classed up kind of scent. So if you want something like cozy, comforting, well balanced without being cloyingly sweet, I enjoyed that. And then another, like, for the experience one, the Nue Co, Water Therapy, was again not a typical perfume scent, but I think like a wonderful kind of aromatherapy inspired scent to have a functional fragrance. I really like that as a concept, so I like what they're doing a lot. I absolutely, for things that are, like, I will be wearing Naughty Nona for holiday parties, 100%. And I think all of the Heretic scents will end up in, like, standard rotation for me. So I'm totally pleased by this. I've had so much fun. I can't believe I've been going for over 2 hours. I've been having so much fun doing this. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. I know this is a doozy of one, so like I said, I have a lot of other perfumes I can certainly talk through. I have like my daily rotation go-to perfumes. I have some that are a little more like experimental that I like but don't wear often. There's a lot that I could talk about if you like this style of video, with some of the spritzing, the research, the chatting. If this is your kind of vibe, please let me know, and I would be happy to do more. And if you have any perfume recommendations for me, let me know. Let me know your favorites, what you like to wear, because as we've learned, I both love perfumes and love to be surprised by scents that I like and scents I didn't expect to like. So certainly let me know. I hope you had fun. If you are drifting off to sleep after 2 hours of perfume yapping, I hope you sleep beautifully, or I hope you have a wonderful day. Whatever you need today, I hope it goes with you. Thank you for hanging out with me. You know what? I said I was gonna put on a perfume for the road, and I think I'm gonna finish with the Coeur Noir. That one really, I think, struck the mood for what I want today. I had to get back into the loud plastic bag, but let me pull back the sleeves a little bit to give myself a spritz. is on the skin. Oh, delightful. I still think it is such a masterful blend that, like, I think I like it so much because I like the idea of a scent that's, like, natural and mysterious and, like, something like a sexy vampire would wear. But fundamentally, I just, like I said, I love gourmands. I want to smell like a sweet treat. So this is, like, I still think it is so well done to mix together scents that are just, like, woods and turn it into something that smells like it could be like a cake. Like, if this was a cake, I would want to eat it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I am going to take this scent with me into the rest of my night as I go get cozy and get myself ready for bed. I will drift off to sleep, laced with this scent and thinking of the lovely time we've had together. So I hope you have a wonderful day or night. I hope you rest well and feel relaxed and centered. Thank you for spending this time with me. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't so you can catch the next video. And I'll see you next time, my loves.